媒体朋友们，大家下午好。今天的记者会将于下午3时准时开始。为了共同维护良好的采访秩序，我向大家做3点提示，报告给大家。
Friends from the media, good afternoon. The press conference will begin shortly at 3 o'clock sharp. For a smooth and well-ordered session, I would like to make 3 kind reminders.
一，全场只有提问使用交传翻译，其他都使用同传翻译。
First, consecutive interpretation will only be used for the questions. Everything else will be interpreted simultaneously.
新闻中心为大家准备了同传耳机，有需要的朋友可以取用，并且在结束之后呢，放回原处。
For that, headsets are available at the media center. Feel free to take one if you find the need, and please return them after the session concludes.
二，请获得提问机会的记者有序提问。提问前，请通报所代表的媒体的名称。
For journalists with question opportunities, please identify your affiliation before asking the question and ask them in a well-ordered way.
为了让更多的媒体朋友有提问的机会，请每位获得提问机会的记者只提一个问题。提问的时候，请简洁清晰。
For more journalists to be able to present their questions, it is kindly asked that each journalist with a question opportunity ask only one question and make it clear and succinct.
三，记者会进行期间，请关闭手机或者将手机的所有功能，包括多媒体功能等等，全部请检查确认。请不要在现场接听或者拨打电话。
Third, throughout the entire session, please keep your cell phones or all their functions on silent. and double-check before the session begins. Both outgoing and incoming calls are not allowed once it begins.
祝大家采访顺利，谢谢。
I wish everyone a smooth and well-ordered session. Thank you.
Friends from the press, good afternoon. Welcome to this press conference. We will be featuring people's livelihood issues. We are privileged to have with us today 4 speakers. They will take your questions on state policies and people's livelihood. They are Mr. Huai Jinpeng, Minister of Education; Ms. Wang Xiaoping, Minister of Human Resources and Social Security; Mr. Ni Hong, Minister of Housing and Urban Rural Development; and Mr. Wang Hesheng, Director of the National Administration of Disease Prevention and Control. Thank you.
直接开始提问。
Thank you. Now the floor is open for questions.
请北区第2排第1位女士提问，谢谢。
谢谢主持人，我是中国教育电视台的记者。我的问题想提给教育部的怀进鹏部长。那今年呢，心智生产力首次被写入到政府工作报告当中，而加快发展心智生产力是迫切的需要大批的拔尖创新人才。所以想请问教育部将采取怎样的举措来加强拔尖创新人才的培养呢？谢谢。
Thank you. China Education Television. This year, the concept of new quality productive forces was written into the government work report for the first time. To develop new quality productive forces at a faster pace, a large number of first-class innovators are urgently needed. What steps will the Ministry of Education take to better cultivate such high-caliber talent?
Thank you for these questions. New quality productive forces is a major theoretical innovation by General Secretary Xi Jinping for China's overall modernization drive. He gave a systematic elaboration on its content, relevance, and pathways during a recent group study, and stressed that we must further the reform of the S&T system, education system, and talent system to unclog the barriers restricting its development. This year's government work report also made relevant plans. Therefore, we in the education sector must better the system to train talent at home and cultivate top innovators. I agree with you that to develop new quality productive forces, we need a large number of top innovators. At the same time, to nurture and develop new quality productive forces, innovation is at core, and basic education is very important. Therefore, to develop these productive forces, we need top talent in basic disciplines that could lead innovation, but also outstanding engineers and skilled craftsmen that could serve new industrialization. We need not only scientists, but also first-class team leaders in science and innovation, as well as a large reserve of young scientists. We also need a large number of well-rounded younger generation. This is what is required, and this is the strength of China in developing such productive forces. We know that every trade has its master. Therefore, we must have China's own system to train talent at home so that we can give everyone the chance to shine, to bring happiness to the people, and give everyone the opportunity to contribute to national development. The new round of technological renovation and industrial transformation is accelerating. Therefore, we must have top talent because they are at the core of the competitiveness of a country, and they are important pillars supporting high-level S&T self-reliance. China's higher education is becoming more universally available with a gross enrollment rate of more than 60%. And the world's largest scale. We have a group of talents, and now the demographic dividends is turning into talent dividends. Therefore, to build China into a country leading in education and a world hub for talent and innovation, we must improve our ability to train talent at home, because this is very important and decisive in meeting the talent demand in developing new quality productive forces. We must proceed from what is most needed by the country and turn our advantage into real practice. This is a true test for our research and for our practical work. We must have the ability to discover, to support, and to evaluate top talent. And we need to support them at all stages of schooling. Therefore, we must first consolidate the basis. Therefore, we must focus on the nurturing of virtue. We will consolidate basic education and promote science education based on explorations, inspire students to embrace scientific spirit, and also give them more opportunities to practical explorations to encourage primary and secondary school students' curiosity, imagination, and desire to explore. We will also better connect basic education with higher education and put in place a mechanism that connects all stages of schooling. At the same time, we will give full play to the leading role of higher education, carry out comprehensive reform, and meet the demand of development and the society to have a better layout of disciplines and subjects, and to have a better system to train and evaluate talent, and have a better mechanism to train and nurture talents. In the reform of higher education, we will promote the diversified development of different universities to highlight their uniqueness. We know all kinds of talents in different areas are all needed in China's development. Therefore, such a comprehensive reform is very important, because we will train not only elites but also the general public. We will encourage different universities to expand their advantages and focus on basic disciplines, interdiscipline majors, and other subjects that are most needed by the country, including basic science and engineering. And also, we will focus on the training of doctors and scientists that are also very important to social and economic development, better integrate education sector and the industries. We will also focus on the main industries and the main development and strategies of the country. In terms of the transfer of research outcomes, we will enhance interdepartmental cooperation and be creative in discovering and training talents. We will also enhance our support to young scientists, start to provide sustained, strong, and stable support at the beginning of their academic career, allow trial and error, tolerant failures, so that young people can be patient, resilient, and courageous in their research and produce original and disruptive outcomes. We hope that they could make unswerving efforts. They will be able to crack the hard nut, because this is the way for them to achieve success. At the same time, we will also lay out regional technology transfer and transformation centers to provide opportunities for young professionals to sharpen their tools. the training of talent is not only important to people's livelihood, but also to the long-term development of the country and the nation. We are confident and we will resolutely pursue this path, discover and support more top talent at home, and provide strategic support and leading force for cultivating and developing new quality productive forces and realizing Chinese modernization. Thank you very much.
继续提问，请中区第3排第3位男士，谢谢。
谢谢。中国日报记者提问，关于就业的问题，我想提给王小平部长。中国就业总量压力和结构矛盾并存，请问如何看待当前就业形势？下一步在稳就业方面将采取哪些举措？谢谢。
Thank you. China Daily. A question on employment for Minister Wang. For China, there are both quantitative and structural employment challenges. What is your assessment of the current situation? What are some next steps for stabilizing employment?
Thank you for this question. Your question is actually about an overview of China's employment and our plans. China is a developing country with a large population. Employment concerns people's livelihood and the overall economic and social development. The CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, takes stabilizing and increasing employment as a priority and places strategic importance on it. Last year, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee, all sectors have pulled their strengths together. Employment situation in China has continued to improve and maintained overall stability. Over 12.44 million new urban jobs were created. The surveyed urban unemployment rate was 5.2% on average. Over 33 million people lifted out of poverty found new jobs last year. We have met our targets, improved people's livelihoods, and stabilized social expectations. Based on what we saw so far this year, employment was off to a good start. Enterprises resumed production, and migrant workers traveled back to work in a steady and orderly manner. Job markets are more vibrant, and job demands for professionals in AI and big data, people working in the service sector such as elderly care, hospitality, culture and tourism, as well as demands from micro and small-sized companies are increasing. And also demands for skilled workers are on the rise. Those changes are fueled by China's economic recovery and the unleashing of potential in service consumption. They also reflect the upgrading of traditional industries and development of new quality productive forces. The fundamentals sustaining China's long-term economic growth remain unchanged and has a solid foundation for high-quality development. We are in a good position to ensure employment, and we are confident in doing so. But we must also be aware of the pressure from increasing new entrants into the workforce and structural issues. Some people still face difficulty in finding jobs. More efforts need to be made to keep employment stable. Regarding this year's work, plans have already been laid out in the government work report. NPC deputies and CPPCC members also gave their valuable suggestions. We will work with relevant departments to implement the decisions made in the government work report, redouble our efforts to prioritize employment, do our best to stabilize employment, improve people's well-being, and promote development. We will focus on the following 5 aspects. First, stabilize job opportunities. It is the foundation of keeping employment stable. Last year, we have implemented this policy. Over 300 billion yuan was given directly to support employment and entrepreneurship. This year, we will implement and improve policies on unemployment insurance premium refunds, special loans, and employment and social insurance subsidies, so as to better unleash policy dividends. Second, expand employment channels. We will scale up support to private economy, SMEs, and other entities with a large capacity for creating jobs, and foster new growth drivers of employment, such as digital economy, silver economy, and green economy. We will continue to provide more support in terms of loans, tax and fees reduction, and venues, and boost employment by encouraging entrepreneurship. We will support and expand channels for flexible employment by encouraging the over 6,900 retail entities to help match supply with demand. Third, improve workers' skills. It is the key to addressing structural issues in employment. In recent years, our government has provided 18 million training opportunities, which increased the number of skilled workers. We will prioritize areas such as smart manufacturing, modern services, and elderly care, and launch training programs at a large scale. Fourth, provide better services. It is a key step to match supply with demand. Since the start of this year, 32,000 job fairs were held under the Spring Breeze Action Program, up by 20% year-on-year, and we arranged chartered railways and flights to help 880,000 people to travel to these events. We will arrange more job fairs of different kinds targeted at different groups to keep the good momentum and keep the job market vibrant. We will promote the model of big data plus door-to-door visits, set up service stations near people's homes, so as to provide efficient, convenient, and targeted services for the people. Fifth, support key groups. Over 11.79 million students are due to graduate from college this year. We will step up policy measures to promote employment for youth, expand market-based avenues, stabilize public sector employment, and improve guidance on employment and entrepreneurship. We will work earnestly to support employment of key groups such as ex-service members, migrant workers, and people with disabilities, and meet their basic living needs. At the same time, we will work with relevant departments to further regulate the human resources market, foster harmonious labor relations, ensure that migrant workers get paid on time, protect workers' lawful rights, and create an equal and sound environment. Thank you.
请大家继续提问。请南区第二排第二位女士，谢谢。
你好，我是马来西亚新洲日报的记者。我的问题是想提给李部长。今年的政府报告提出稳步实施城市更新行动，请问为什么要稳步？有哪些措施？谢谢。
My question is for Minister Ni. This year's government work report stated that urban renewal projects will be steadily advanced. Mr. Minister, what does the report mean by steadily advanced, and how will they be realized?
Thank you for your question. Urban renewal is a sure path of urbanization and an important move to advance urban high-quality development. The aim of urban renewal projects is to make cities more livable, resilient, and smarter. It's also about enabling a more convenient, relaxing, and happier life for the people. This year's government's work report proposes to steadily advance urban renewal projects. On steadily, my understanding is that it means following the main principles laid out in this year's report, and that is pursuing progress while ensuring stability, promoting stability through progress, and establishing the new before abolishing the old. So how are we going to put that into practice? I think there are two aspects. To begin with, there are two things we need to keep in mind with regard to the principles. First, we need to keep in mind what General Secretary Xi Jinping said, that people's cities are built by the people and for the people. In this spirit, we will put people at the center and truly deliver on our well-being policies to meet people's needs. Second, we will learn from history, follow the natural course of things, and respect science. We will base our policies on realities, think matters through, and take concrete actions. And we need to both do our utmost and act in accordance with our capacities. As for what we should do, there are also 2 points. First off, we need to carry out body checks for cities and identify the problems. Just like human beings, cities are also alive. People need body checks for their health, and so do cities. So how to examine a city? I think at least 2 things should be kept in mind. First is that we need to be problem-oriented, starting from houses to neighborhoods and to communities and cities. We will search for the pressing issues that concern people the most. And secondly, we also need to be focused on our goals and look for things that affect the city's competitiveness, accommodation capacity, and sustainability. The problems identified during these body checks will serve as the priorities in our urban renewal projects. So, secondly, the second thing is that we need to cut to the chase and resolve key issues. That includes 3 groups of projects. The first group concerns people's well-being. The report laid out the plan to resolve problems like installing elevators and parking shortages in old residential compounds, and develop barrier-free and age-friendly facilities. Our plan is to renovate another 50,000 old residential compounds this year and build a group of communities with well-developed service facilities. I also wish to take this opportunity to brief you on our work last year. Last year, about 66,000 urban renewal projects were carried out nationwide, with a total of 2.6 trillion yuan of investment. Among them, 53,000 old residential compounds started renovation, benefiting over 22 million people. 36,000 elevators were installed. 850,000 parking spots were built. And 21,000 elderly care, child care, and other community service facilities were set up. About 100,000 kilometers of pipelines, like gas pipelines, were renovated. Over 4,100 pocket parks were built. Over 5,300 kilometers of greenway were laid. And 11,000 square kilometers of open space of lawns were created. It's often these small things that constitute the weighty theme of people's well-being. None of these work is easy. Like installing elevators, it's not easy to get the residents to see eye to eye, and nor is it easy to find the right spot for building parking lots. Many issues we face are dilemmas. But however difficulty they might be, as long as the people need it, we will think out ways to resolve each and every one of these problems without fail, to the benefit of the people. Just like our friends from the press asked me, we need to solve these problems. To do that, we have our traditional wisdom of good neighborliness. We watch out for each other and help each other out. We need to follow that tradition and truly deliver on all these well-being projects. The second group of projects is important, although invisible to our eyes. According to the report, we will move faster to improve underground pipeline networks. This year, we will continue to renovate aged pipelines for gas and water supply, drainage, and heating, with an annual target of more than 100,000 kilometers. Underground pipelines are important projects that, though do not meet our eyes, bear on the well-being of the people. We ask the local governments to do their utmost with all their heart and ensure their quality. The third group is safety projects. The report proposes the building of livable, resilient, and smart cities. As I understand it, neither of these three features can do without having safety as the basis. On boosting this safetiness, we plan on doing the following two things. The first is improving cities' capacities for drainage, and the first is advanced construction on urban lifeline safety projects, which means using digital means to monitor urban water supply, drainage, gas pipeline, heating, bridges, and pipelines to identify and tackle problems from early on and to resolve them so as to boost the city's capacities for ensuring safe operation. Secondly, we need to boost our capacity to help cities improve their drainage system. We plan to start addressing waterlogging problems at more than 1,000 locations in 100 cities. We will faithfully implement the decisions and plans of the Party Central Committee, steadily advance urban renewal projects, and strive for new progress in urban high-quality development. Thank you.
请中区第二排穿蓝色衣服的女士，谢谢。
谢谢主持人。中央广播电视总台央视记者提问，我的这个问题是提给国家疾控局的王局长。那疾控工作呢和人民健康福祉是息息相关的。那么在围绕着疾控事业的高质量发展，您能否可以谈一下疾控体系的建设有哪些新的变化？下一步为人民健康如何发挥更好的作用？谢谢。
China Central Television. My question is for Administrator Wang. Disease prevention and control has a direct bearing on people's health and well-being. In relation to the high-quality development of disease prevention and control, could you tell us how the disease prevention and control system has evolved and how it will work to safeguard people's life?
Thank you for the question. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank you, friends from the press, for your care and support for our work relating to disease prevention and control. General Secretary Xi Jinping and the CPC Central Committee have attached great importance to the building of a disease prevention and control system and made strategic plans on reforming and improving such a system. Since the establishment of our administration, we have resolutely implemented the decisions of General Secretary Xi Jinping and the CPC Central Committee. The guiding principles on high-quality development of disease prevention and control were approved by the State Council. We have upheld and strengthened the party's central and unified leadership over our work, streamlined our system and mechanism, clarified our functions, and improved our professional capabilities, as evidenced by the following 5 mores. First, monitoring and early warning have become more agile. We have made continued efforts to streamline systems, expand monitoring channels, regulate early warning, and improve professional capabilities. We have established and improved the data-driven monitoring and early warning system for infectious diseases, with subsystems including Sentinel Hospital, virus mutation monitoring, and urban sewage monitoring system. We have increased information and data sharing with other departments. This has enabled us to predict the dynamics of epidemics and make early arrangements and effective response. Second, emergency response has become more effective. We have set up 20 national emergency response teams for acute infectious diseases. Wherever there were a breakout, we would be able to immediately send medical teams. For example, when an earthquake hit Gansu last December, 3 national medical teams based in Gansu and Qinghai arrived at the affected areas immediately and helped disinfect the environment, monitor infectious diseases and drinking water quality, and assess possible risks, which helped prevent a major breakout of diseases after the earthquake. In the future, we will set up another 5 national medical teams as well as emergency squads at city and county levels, which will further improve our capacity for emergency response. Third, technical teams we adopted have become more advanced. We have fully applied latest scientific and technological outcomes and in IT to make our prevention and control efforts more science-based and targeted. With a national direct reporting system in place, which is also the largest in the world, reporting time of infectious diseases is cut from 5 days to 4 hours. At the national level, a system that is able to identify pathogens from 300 kinds within 72 hours has been established. 100% of provincial level and 20% of municipal level CDCs are able to give nucleic acid tests and conduct virus isolation. A national epidemiological investigation system and the hotline 95120 were set up, which helped increase the efficiency of our relevant work. Fourth, our supervision has become more forceful. We have continued to strengthen the comprehensive supervisory system in the field of health, increased the use of IT in law enforcement at the community level, applied smart technologies in supervision so as to build up our capacities. We have designated supervisors for medical institutions on a trial basis and increased our efforts to supervise over areas that have a direct bearing on people's health, such as infectious diseases, prevention and control, and public health. In 2023, 4.3 million inspections were carried out nationwide, and illegal acts were found out and punished, effectively protecting people's right to health. Fifth, our work on popularization has become more down to earth. We continue to conduct public health risk assessment and on topics like the prevention and control of infectious diseases, heat waves and other extreme weather events, earthquakes, floods, and other natural disasters, disease prevention and control during holidays, and other topics of public concern. We released guidelines and health notices and invited experts to explain the guidelines to the public in a timely manner. These measures effectively answered people's concerns and helped raise public awareness on public health, and helped foster a good social environment for public participation in disease prevention and control. Going forward, we will continue to put people's health front and center, move faster to advance high-quality development of disease prevention and control, and foster high-level security, further strengthen the public health safety nets, provide strong and solid support for protecting people's health, and safeguard social and economic stability. Thank you.
请北区后排第5排第2位男士提问，谢谢。
感谢主持人。工人日报记者提问，我的问题提给王小平部长。增强技能队伍建设，增强技能人才队伍建设，对推动经济高质量发展具有重要作用。请问，在这方面我们都有哪些举措？谢谢。
Question is for Minister Wang. Strengthening the capacity building of skilled workers is important to advancing high-quality economic development. What measures do we have in place to this end?
Thank you for your interest in this field of work. Capacity building of skilled workers is an important pathway for human resources development and a key measure to address structural issues in employment. So far, there are over 200 million skilled workers in China and over 60 million highly skilled talent, which provides strong support to China's high-quality development. However, we still lack skilled workers for new industries, new models, and new driving forces. As well as technicians such as fitters, welders, and care workers. Training programs are still catching up with the changes in market demand and industrial development. General Secretary Xi Jinping has made important instructions on multiple occasions regarding work on training skilled workers. During this year's 2 sessions, he also stressed that skilled workers are the foundation of China's development. This year's government work report has also made clear requirements on training skilled workers. We will earnestly implement the decisions made by the CPC Central Committee and the State Council and take an integrated approach to training, utilizing, assessing, and incentivizing skilled workers and speed up efforts to build a larger and stronger talent pool. To be more specific, first, we will focus on supporting industrial development. With the aim to foster new growth drivers, we will provide stronger talent support for strategic emerging industries and future industries, and ensure that workers can better meet job requirements and increase productivity. For example, we will increase training programs in such areas as digital technology, smart manufacturing, big data, blockchain, and integrated circuits. And we will also cultivate more highly skilled workers in advanced manufacturing, modern services, and elderly care. We will also increase input into the building of training centers for highly skilled workers and studios for craftsmen, and create platforms for carrying forward and showcasing their skills. Second, we will explore new ways of training talent. We will follow the logic of talent cultivation and build mechanisms for sound interactions with enterprises. Enterprises should play the primary role, and technical and vocational schools should also participate in the building of education models featuring cooperation between enterprises and schools. We will promote a new type of apprenticeship, foster a sound ecological system, and align with the demands of training highly skilled workers. Some localities have explored the training model where workers, once completing their courses, can acquire the needed skills and meet job requirements. Third, we will pave the way for career development. We will gradually remove the ceiling and expand channels for skilled workers to develop themselves. Incentivize young people to acquire new skills and find jobs in factories. Encourage enterprises to carry out independent evaluation on skilled workers fully implement the new professional title system with 8 technical titles in a bid to expand room for career development. We will expand areas where highly skilled workers and professional workers can develop in parallel, and diversify the channels for career development. We will also provide more guidance on salary distribution for skilled workers in specific provinces and cities and raise their salaries. Fourth, we will create a sound environment. We will promote the spirit of model workers and craftsmen, foster a sound environment that supports the development of skilled workers, incentivize the public with awards and honors such as National Skills Award and National Technical Master Hand. We will organize various vocational skills competitions so as to inspire enthusiasm across the society for valuing and learning skills. Last year, we held the 2nd National Vocational Skills Competition in Tianjin. The competition events covered 75% of industrial categories and attracted around 100,000 people to sign up for training and selection, which has produced positive social impact. This year, China will participate in the 47th World Skills Competition in France and will hold a series of national vocational skills competitions. We hope you will give more coverage on those events. Thank you.
请大家继续提问。请南区第3排第1位女士，谢谢。
谢谢主持人，我是深圳卫视执新闻的记者。我的问题想要提给倪虹部长。倪部长您好，我们注意到社会各方面都十分的关注房地产发展新模式，想要请问住建部将采取哪些措施来推动构建新模式呢？谢谢。
Shenzhen Media Group. My question is for Minister Ni. Across society, people have quite an interest in the idea of a new development model for real estate. What measure will the Ministry of Housing and Urban-Rural Development take to foster such a model?
Thank you for your question. The Party Central Committee proposes to build a new development model for real estate. I think this is the fundamental way out of the difficulty facing the housing market and the way to promote its sound and steady development. And how to develop such a model? In my perspective, there are at least 3 points. First, the general principles are always stick to the principle that houses are for living in, not for speculation. Improve the supply system with dual focus on both government-subsidized and market-regulating housing. The government should ensure basic housing demands, and different kinds of other housing demands can be regulated by the market. Also, a system that encourages both renting and purchasing will be established. These measures can make sure that people can have good houses to live in. And second, in terms of mechanism, first is to build a new mechanism to coordinate people, houses, land, and funds. These factors need to be effectively allocated. And people's demands should serve as the basis for housing plans, which in turn will be used to plan out the use of land and funds. This is how we can balance supply and demand and stabilize the market. And this is implemented by guiding subnational regions to formulate housing development plans. And second, we will improve the whole process management mechanism of houses, starting from their development to construction, all the way to their maintenance and utilization. This is a very systematic undertaking. In terms of house supply, we need reforms in the basic systems of developing, funding, and selling commodity houses, and facilitate existing home sales in an orderly manner. And on housing utilization, we will speed up developing systems like house body checks, special funds for repairing houses, and house insurance, etc. Thirdly, in terms of implementation, there are two priorities. First, we will plan and build government-subsidized houses. Advance the building of public infrastructure that can be used in both normal and emergency circumstances, and redevelop urban villages. These measures can both benefit the people and facilitate the transition. Planning and building government-subsidized houses is an important move to improve the residential housing system and its supply system. The key is to explore new ways to increase the number of government-subsidized houses for sale. Building public infrastructure that can be used in both normal and emergency circumstances is an important measure to coordinate development to make cities more resilient. The key is that these infrastructures should be necessary in normal circumstances and can come into use during emergencies. Renovating urban villages is a project that concerns people's well-being, that can solve their pressing needs. The focus is on eliminating security risks, improving living environment, promoting industrial upgrade, and high-quality urban development. Last year, the State Council released 3 guidelines in a row on these measures. This year, we will focus on launching constructions and ensuring quality and safety to produce tangible outcomes as quickly as possible. So that's the first aspect. The second aspect is that we will make great efforts to build good houses. At the end of the day, housing development aims to give people good houses to live in. So what are good houses then? Good houses can be built at any price level and come in different sizes. We will guide house designers to produce good designs and encourage companies to develop good products, materials, and equipment. We hope to see inter-sector cooperation so that green, low-carbon, smart, and safe houses will be built to let our people live healthily, conveniently, and safely. I hope that under this new model, the real estate companies can see that in the future they will have to compete for higher quality, more advanced technology, and better services. Whoever can seize the opportunities to make that transition, whoever can build good houses and provide good services, will win the market, secure its development, and enjoy a bright future. Thank you.
请中区第4排第2位女士，谢谢。
谢谢主持人，我是中国精神文明网记者。我的问题想提给教育部怀部长。今年我国将开展基础教育扩优体制行动，请问教育部将采取什么措施来落实这个行动，努力满足人民群众对上好学的期盼？谢谢。
Wenming.cn. My question is for Minister Huai. This year, China will launch an initiative to upgrade basic education. What measures will the Ministry of Education adopt to deliver on that, so as to meet people's expectations for a good education?
Thank you for this question. Let me start by first sharing with you some numbers in China's education. China's basic education has the largest scale in the world. Now, we have altogether 480 schools from preschools to middle schools, and 230 million children. And behind every child, there are their concerned families. So I have to say that basic education bears on the happiness of millions of families, because this question, I should say, concerns every family and everyone in China. China took only a little over 20 years to make compulsory education universally available, which took developed countries over 100 years. We are the first among the 9 most populous developing countries to have a nationwide 9-year compulsory education. Over the past decade, historic achievements and structural changes have taken place in China's basic education. The availability of basic education at all stages of schooling has reached or even passed the average of mid- and high-income countries, among which that of preschools and compulsory education have reached that of high-income countries. Last November, in Shanghai, working together with UNESCO and during the 42nd Conference of UNESCO, we established a UNESCO STEM Institute. So all the 4 disciplines of STEM are very important to the Chinese people. This institute is the first established by UNESCO outside European countries and outside the United States. So it will boost our development of STEM-related disciplines in China. General Secretary Xi Jinping stressed that people's aspirations to live a better life must always be the focus of our efforts. China's basic education has entered a new stage toward better quality. People are urgently looking for good education, and this year's government work report also launched an initiative to upgrade basic education. In my analysis, to upgrade basic education means that we should further enhance its quality and make the pie of quality resources bigger so that it can benefit more children in a more equitable manner, so that we can truly move from ensuring only access to education to access to good education. What are the ways? I will elaborate in 5 areas. First, we will optimize the layout. In the coming future, we will adapt to the changes of demography as well as new urbanization. Therefore, we are working on the establishment of a monitoring and early warning system for changes in the school-age population at the county level to optimize education resources in urban and rural areas and improve the conditions of rural boarding schools and some underdeveloped urban schools. We will run necessary small-scale rural schools, strengthen the development of regular high schools at the county level, and strive to expand education resources at the senior high school level so that more children can go to good schools in their neighborhood. Second, we will further increase quality learning opportunities. We will continue to improve the conditions of underdeveloped schools in central and western regions. At the same time, we will build a batch of new quality schools, expand the enrollment of existing quality schools, conglomerate a group of schools, and pair up a group of rural and urban schools. In this way, we hope that we can have more quality schools, improve weak ones, and promote the balanced development of compulsory education and the integration of rural and urban areas. Narrow the quality gap between regions, urban and rural areas, and different schools so that more schools can be recognized by the people as good schools. Third, we will improve our ability in teaching and education, that is, to give equal emphasis on all 5 aspects of education. build a system that comprehensively cultivates morality, intellectual ability, physical fitness, aesthetics, and labor skills, to have good textbooks, to enhance science education while reducing unnecessary burdens of students, encourage reading among young people, ensure that students have 1 hour of physical exercise every day and sufficient recess activities, train their labor skills and habit, and take effective measures to try to have fewer students that have glasses, fewer students that are overweight, and improve their mental health, to reduce students' unnecessary burdens and promote the all-round development and healthy growth of students. And fourth, we need to further train our teachers. Not long ago, we had a seminar focusing on the ethos of educators. We have an outstanding student from Guangxi province who was sharing with the conference about the ethos of educators, stressing the importance of love and care in education. We must have this loving and caring spirit in the training of teachers. In order to have a high-quality education, we will vigorously implement national plans on teachers' training. We have a special program that will encourage world-class universities in China to strengthen the training of primary and secondary school teachers. And we will try to attract more talent to become teachers and to train teachers. We will also try to enhance the political, social, and professional status of teachers and attract more outstanding talent to become long-term teachers. We will vigorously promote the ethos of educators, encourage teachers to have higher moral groundings and excellent competence, to become someone who can lead by example, and to become someone who can give students a memorable growing experience in schools. To build China into a leading country in education, the strengths of teachers are very important. Therefore, we must try to improve the social respect for teachers and help teachers to be more dedicated and focused on teaching jobs. Fifth, we will further strengthen coordination between school, family, and society. We often say that family is a child-first school, and society is a melting point as they grow up. Only one synergy is formed between family, society, and school can now children have a better environment. We hope and we will be working with parents to have a scientific concept of education to create good family atmosphere. We will mobilize best resources from the society to expand students' experience, to have more quality resources to help students and to train their abilities and test their resilience. In this way, our children can grow up happy and healthy with the care and the support from the whole society. Cooperation between family, school, and society are all very important in the future of our children. And such cooperation is also very important in the quality development of China's basic education.
请中区第一排第3位女士，谢谢。
南方周末记者提问，我的问题提给王鹤胜局长。大家对艾滋病、结核病、肝炎等传染病的防控问题都很关心。请问目前我国在遏制这些重大传染病、改善人民群众健康水平方面的情况如何？谢谢。
Southern Weekly. My question is for Administrator Wang. Prevention and control of infectious diseases such as AIDS, TB, and hepatitis is something people care very much about. How is China doing in containing these major infectious diseases and protecting people's health?
好，谢谢您的提问。
Thank you for this question. The prevention and control of infectious diseases not only bear on people's safety and well-being, but also affect social and economic development and security of stability of a nation. We in the disease prevention and control system have resolutely implemented the important instructions of General Secretary Xi Jinping and decisions of the party and the government, prioritized prevention while also enhancing treatment efforts, and made major achievements in the prevention and control of infectious diseases. They could be summarized in 3 aspects. First, a group of diseases have been eliminated. After ending smallpox, filariasis, polio, and neonatal tetanus, after the 18th CPC National Congress, under the strong leadership of General Secretary Xi Jinping and the CPC Central Committee, we have made earnest efforts and eliminated malaria in 2021, a disease that has affected the Chinese people for thousands of years. This is not only a milestone in China's public health, but also an important contribution to the global public health endeavor and is highly applauded by the international community. The World Health Organization congratulated China on this notable feat, saying that we have reduced malaria cases from 30 million in the 1940s to 0. Second, a group of diseases have been controlled. Currently, AIDS, TB, hepatitis B and C, and schistosomiasis have all been brought under effective control. Take AIDS, for example. The transmission through blood transfusion and blood products have been basically cut off. Mother-to-child transmission and transmission through drug injection are at a historic low. Success rate of antiviral treatment is now over 95%. Newly reported infections and mortality are both on a declining curve. And nationally, the prevalence in China is low. As for TB, the prevalence is steadily declining, and the success rate of treatment is kept over 90%, and mortality lowered to that of developed countries. New infections of hepatitis are greatly reduced. With the universal vaccination of hepatitis B in newborn babies, the infection rate of under 5-year-olds is kept under 1%. And this has saved tens of millions of Chinese children from infection. Third, a group of diseases have been reduced. The incidence of vaccine-preventable diseases such as measles, encephalitis B, and epidemic meningitis have dropped to a historic low. Take measles, for example. Recent years in China, only 500 to 600 cases are reported every year, which signifies a quite low prevalence globally. The prevalence of major parasitic diseases such as echinococosis and ascariasis have remarkably declined, entering a new stage toward control or elimination. Despite all these achievements, however, we are keenly aware that China still faces risks of new and emergent infectious diseases. There is still a long way to go for us to consolidate what we have achieved. The situation ahead remains complicated. This year's government work report emphasized that we must prevent and control key infectious diseases. We will continue to earnestly implement the instructions and decisions, draw experience and lessons from the past, improve the system, upgrade strategies and plans, consolidate the achievements, and try our utmost to reduce the threat of infectious diseases on people's health and social and economic development.
请北区中间的这位男士举手。对，谢谢。
谢谢主持人。人民日报海外版记者。我的问题想提给王小平部长。人社领域公共服务与我们每个人的日常生活关系密切，不仅事项多，频次也很密。我想请问部长，在实施高效办成一件事、提升公共服务质量方面有哪些考虑？谢谢。
People's Daily. My question is for Minister Wang. Public services in the field of human resources and social security are closely linked with the daily life of every one of us. A large number of procedures must be cleared within a short span of time. Madam Minister, my question is, what are some considerations with regard to promoting one-stop government services and improving the quality of public services?
Thank you for this question. Human resources and social security departments are closely related to people's livelihood. Everything we do needs to be judged by the public and have a direct bearing on their interests. Improvement in the quality and efficiency of public services will help deliver on policies to benefit the people and increase their satisfaction rate and sense of gain and facilitate their needs. It is clearly stated in this year's government work report that we will promote one-stop government services to enhance our service levels. The Human Resources and Social Security departments will focus on meeting the urgent needs of the public, continue to improve the quality and efficiency of government services, and deliver better experience for the people. First, we will integrate resources to unclog the channels for providing services, so as to save the troubles for the people. We will integrate our services, set clear standards, items, and procedures, so that people can enjoy one-stop services, both online and offline, and we can directly respond to their needs. We will expand the coverage of government services and mobilize banks, post stations, and community-level workers to deliver services straight to the people and meet their needs of having more services stations close to their homes. We will introduce call-out services or exempt application procedures and help the elderly people and people with disability by running the errands for them or providing tailored services. Second, we will improve the quality and efficiency of services. We will tear down the barriers between different provinces and cities and deliver government services in a more efficient manner. We have streamlined procedures, reduced paperwork, and cut down time, cancelled 65% of required documents, and cut the time needed for completing all the procedures by 30%, and expand the coverage of one-stop services. Subsidies are given in a direct and efficient manner. The policy of waiving excessive documents with the written consent will be promoted. We will also provide more inter-provincial government services by leveraging platforms such as the National Human Resources and Social Security Government Services and the National Social Insurance Public Services. 40 types of inter-provincial services were open to the public in such areas as innovation and entrepreneurship, social security, and talent cultivation. We will continue to increase such services and make those services more accessible. Third, we will use digital technologies to provide smart services. We will fully apply digital technologies in work relating to human resources and social security and accelerate the building of an integrated information platform that uses digital and smart technologies. We will help people run different errands within one stop and deliver targeted policies to benefit people and enterprises. For example, we will establish a national platform for employment services, promote the model of big data plus door-to-door visits, and cement the foundation for high-quality work relating to employment. We will also advance digital transformation, use big data to find people who are not yet covered by social insurance, and expand the coverage of social security and social insurance programs. And I would like to take this opportunity to say a few more words on the one-stop item of Social Security card. It is a basic thing that enables government to provide services for the public. So far, 98% of the people in China has one, and 970 million have e-cards. In 2023, e-cards met 15.1 billion service requests. It covers a wide range of services, including government, medical, transportation, culture, and tourism services. We will work with relevant departments to provide more thoughtfully designed services, promote digitalization, and increase the use of all-in-one cards in cities, provinces, and the whole country, so that people can run their errands more conveniently. In a nutshell, we will continue to improve our work, provide more heartwarming services in a more efficient manner, and deliver tangible benefits to the people. Thank you.
请大家继续提问。请蓝区第6排第2位女士，谢谢。
谢谢主持人。大家好，我是香港星岛日报记者。我的提问是提给怀敬鹏部长的。我们注意到今年说中国召开了世界数字教育大会，取得了良好的反响。您也发表了数字教育应用共享创新的主旨演讲，提出了用数字之光开启那个希望之门的愿景。请问下一步数字教育将采取哪些重大的举措呢？谢谢。
好，谢谢这位。
Singtao Daily. My question is for Minister Huai. The World Digital Education Conference held in China earlier this year was a great success. Mr. Minister, in your keynote speech titled Promoting Joint Application, Sharing and Innovation of Digital Education, you called for illuminating the way forward with the light of digital technology. What are some major steps the Ministry of Education will take to advance digital education?
谢谢。
Thank you for this question from our friend from Hong Kong. I wish to first thank you for following the World Digital Education Conference. This is indeed an important international exchange platform. It is also a platform for cooperation. Digital education is an important part of China's overall digitalization. It is also an important breakthrough point to open up new fields in education and shape our advantages. In this way, with digitalization, we could provide better quality education. Over the years, efforts have been made to put in place a national platform called Smart Education China, and we have implemented a national strategy on digital education. All these efforts are aimed to pool all the resources possible, all the quality resources for better education. We hope this platform could provide public services non-stop, like a 24/7 supermarket. We can all recall that during the COVID-19 pandemic, China started large-scale online teaching so that when schools close, schooling is not stopped. And this has ensured that under special circumstances in China, where we have the largest group of students, they were able to continue their education without being affected by a large pandemic. This platform was used during the pandemic, as now we enter a new phase of pandemic response after an in-depth analysis of the changes in global education trend and the development of global education. To improve the quality of education, we have combined the efforts from the S&T sector, from education, from relevant industries and relevant experts, and try to figure out, given the large size of China's education, how we could promote the development of this online platform to promote China's quality education, to have more scenarios and services of digital application. You may know that I have been working in ICT area for many years, and after that I've also been working in education for many years. So to my personal understanding, digital education is not only a change in tools and platforms, it is also very important for our students to learn from experience and real practice. It will also be very important for teachers to prepare their lessons and for teachers to improve themselves. Also, such an online platform will provide big data for us to understand students' learning experience, to understand what our students feel about their learning in school and their learning at home. So this will help us better manage our schools and our teaching process. We also hope that this platform could be an important international exchange platform because it will help us improve our digital competence to adapt to a new age of AI. With all the efforts taken, we could see that quality classes are accessible anytime, anywhere. And this online platform has turned many visions into reality. Now on this platform, primary students can be inspired by academicians with lessons given by those masters. Students from vocational schools can conduct experiments in virtual labs. And they could also operate equipments just online. And also children in Central and Western regions can appreciate virtually the precious jade dragon in the National Museum in Beijing. Teachers joining the summer seminar can communicate and cooperate with each other regardless of their location. And this has helped us to provide different kinds of training and services at different stages of schooling. Also, a special session was created for senior citizens to enjoy a more fulfilling life in the reading platform. And it will help us in China's endeavor to promote lifelong learning. Minister Wang was also talking about issues about university graduates finding jobs. And on this platform last year alone, nearly 1/3 of university graduates found jobs on this platform. It has helped with their communication and interaction with their future employers. So I'm confident that this platform has become the most important public good in education. It provides very good services to students, teachers, and schools. Last year, in October, I visited a school in Xihaigu in Ningxia. This is a very remote place in China, and I was glad to see that with computers connected, pupils in this place can attend the same class with students in Beijing. So students from these two areas can learn the same lesson, can discuss on the same subject. We attach great importance to digital education because it can help us make quality resources more accessible. It could help improve the quality of overall education, narrowing the digital gap with the cables, and connects classrooms with flat screens. For a country with huge population and imbalanced development like China, to develop digital education is very important. It is not a choice, but a must. It is a worthy cause, and it will truly change. It will truly bring change to us. I often say that for this national platform, we must have a dedicated devotion. Users' stickiness is true recognition, and effective utilization is what we should pursue. We will continue to improve application and service. We hope that students, teachers can all feel that they need this platform. Therefore, to promote the development of this platform, we must have better educational resources and facilitate the allocation of resources. We will adding more quality resources on STEM education, aesthetics, and labor skills to benefit the whole society. And also, we will expand the nationwide application of this platform and try to let every child and every school to have access to personalized platforms. So in the coming 2 years, we will select places with urgent needs and proper conditions, especially those in the central and the western regions, to expand the application of this platform. And we will support relevant localities in their using of this platform. In this way, we could facilitate the learning of students and the management of schools. At the same time, we also try to provide more public goods and provide a platform to facilitate Chinese society's lifelong learning. A hot topic has also attracted the attention of delegates this year. That is the relationship between AI and education. This year's government work report proposed to launch an AI Plus initiative. For us in the education sector, AI is like a golden key. It will affect education of the future and also the future of education. It brings both opportunities and challenges. If we are to seize the opportunities, we must embrace the age of AI, embrace the changes in science and technology and industries. So going forward, we will try to train teachers that is digitally competent. Because only when AI is well integrated in teaching and management can we better equip ourselves with AI technology. Can we encourage students to learn? Can we encourage teachers to be more creative? We will also enhance AI-related disciplines and platforms to accelerate the training of top talent on AI. Also, we will pay attention to ethics on AI in terms of education to better protect people's privacy, because these are very important in the establishment and development of this platform. And we will be very active in international exchange on this regard. Our purpose is to help everyone of the society to live better in the AI age. and enjoy the benefit of this new technology. So this platform will be further enhanced, as this will be a top priority for us in the educational sector. And let me stress that education in China must and will always be open, and digital education will always be open. We have been working in this regard over the past years. So this platform, the Smart Education of China, has launched an international version with different language versions. It has also won the UNESCO ICT in Education Prize last year. This is a top prize in education ICT. It shows that this platform is very relevant, and also it will be very important for future development. Many countries have reached us and have expressed their willingness to learn and cooperate. So we will further enhance international exchanges in this regard and deepen research with the support of the UNESCO Institute for STEM Education in Shanghai. We will also enhance our cooperation on multilateral and bilateral channels to find better and more quality resources for talent training. We will try to provide China's proposal to the development of international digital education. As for China's digital education platform, we will try to make it first integrated, second to make it intelligent, and third to make it international. So the three keywords are integrated, intelligent, and international, 3 I's. I hope with our efforts, digital education in China can adapt to the changes of education, can better support Chinese modernization. The door has been opened, and we will move forward and try to make better contributions to the development of the country and development of the society. Thank you.
请中区第5排第1位男士，谢谢。
谢谢主持人，我是来自澳门澳广市的记者。我提出的问题是关于疾病防控的。近日，世界卫生组织总干事谭德赛就 X 疾病爆发的可能性发出警告性，宣称新的变异体和流行病的爆发只是时间的问题，而不是是否会爆发的问题。请问该如何看待 X 疾病？如何防范 X 疾病可能带给我们的一些危害呢？谢谢。
TDM, I have a question on disease prevention and control for Administrator Wang. Recently, Dr. Tedros, Director General of the World Health Organization, issued a warning about the possibility of a next pandemic of disease X. He believes that the next pandemic caused by a new pathogen is a matter of when, not if. What is your view on a disease X, and what should be done to fend off the potential risks of such a disease?
好，谢谢这位澳门。
Thank you for this question from our friend from Macau. The disease X is of great concern to the international community. The term disease X does not refer to any particular disease. Disease X is an infectious disease caused by an unknown pathogen that can potentially cause a global pandemic. Disease X is mainly characterized by its high fatality rate, fast transmission, and propensity to mutate. So there is great uncertainty as to its occurrence and development. Therefore, it's very difficult to predict what pathogen might cause it and when and where it might occur. Global experts generally believe that due to the accelerated global climate change, the expansion of human activities, and frequent transmission of pathogens among species, there is a greater risk of pandemics caused by a disease X. Although disease X is hard to avoid, the pandemic it could cause can be prevented and tackled. We will faithfully implement the important remarks by General Secretary Xi Jinping on a holistic approach to national security, know what the worst-case scenarios are, carefully study and work and learn from the experience we've got in handling COVID-19, and work with relevant authorities to boost preparedness. To win a battle, one needs to take preemptive moves. So we need to use better preparedness to offset the uncertainty of a pandemic. First, that we will build and improve a system of law and regulations, carry out disease prevention and control according to law, improve resource allocation, and the mechanism to shift between normal operation and emergency response. Second, we will build and improve a multi-channel monitoring and early warning system and strengthen risk assessment on infectious diseases to identify them early on. Third, we will build and improve the system of emergency plans, organize more simulation exercises for emergency teams, and stockpile relevant supplies to boost our capacities for handling emergencies. Fourth, we will build and improve a system for science-based response, increase R&D input, and advance prospective studies on pandemics caused by infectious diseases so that our response measures are based on solid science. Fifth, we will build and improve the system for public participation in disease prevention and control, improve the joint working mechanism between authorities, and widely engage with the public to comprehensively raise their awareness of public health and boost their capacities for disease prevention and control. Infectious diseases are not confined by borders. Preventing and addressing pandemic requires the concerted effort from the entire international community. China will take an active part in the global public health governance, advance cooperation with the WHO and other international organizations and with other countries, and actively participate in concluding a pandemic treaty and revising the International Health Regulations 2005, thereby contributing Chinese wisdom and the strength to building a community of health for all. Thank you.
请第一排第4位女士，谢谢。
谢谢主持人。新华社记者提问，我想有个问题提住建部的倪部长。政府工作报告对优化房地产政策、促进房地产市场平稳健康发展提出了明确的要求，请问住建部将如何抓好落实？谢谢。
Xinhua News Agency. My question is for Minister Ni. The government work report has laid out clear requirements for refining real estate policy and promoting sound and steady development of the housing market. What will the Ministry of Housing and Urban-Rural Development do to deliver on that?
The housing market is of great interest to us all, so I wish to take this opportunity to brief you and to thank you for your interest in our work and in the housing market. In 2023, certain real estate companies experienced a shortage of working capital and the real estate market undergone adjustments. Facing these risks and challenges, under the strong leadership of the Party Central Committee and the State Council, the Ministry worked with relevant authorities to roll out a series of policies. For example, the policy of recognizing those who had previously taken a loan to buy houses as first-time home buyers, and the policy to lower down payment ratio and interest rates, and continue the favorable policy for those who exchanged the current house for a better home. We gave guidance to localities to roll out city-specific measures and took solid steps to deliver pre-sold houses on time. So it's fair to say that we have ensured that no systemic risks arose. However, with regard to the housing market, we should not only look at the short term. More important is the medium and long term. The housing market is undergoing a transition. the task of effecting a transition and adjustment and stabilizing the market is still daunting. But judging from the development process of urbanization and the existing of over 30 billion square meters of existing houses to be upgraded, we still have a huge potential in the transition of the real estate sector. We need to firm up confidence and solve problems as they come our way. In this way, we will be able to promote the sound and steady development of the housing market. On implementing the plans in the report, we will focus on stabilizing the market, forestalling risks, and facilitating the transition, and work in these three priorities. First is stabilizing the market. We gave guidance to municipal governments to make good use of their discretion over regulation. Houses are immovable properties. Houses in Shanghai and in Guangzhou cannot be moved to Beijing to satisfy residents in Beijing's housing needs. So the housing market is based on the cities it resides in. The different markets have differences in terms of their supply and demand. So that's why we emphasize the need to have city-specific and targeted measures. Now we have already given cities wide discretion over housing regulation. Hence, the local governments need to do well in formulating and materializing housing development plans. Consider their respective needs and refine relevant policies and refine housing policies and stabilize the market. The second is to forestall risks. We will support the reasonable financing needs of housing companies of different types of ownership. During our survey, we see that some good companies, well-operating companies, do have some difficulties, but some companies in distress also have good projects. So in light of this, we will work with the local government to establish mechanisms to coordinate finance for housing projects and to compose whitelists on a one project, one plan basis, treating all companies equally in supporting their financial needs. So far, 312 cities above prefecture level have set up this mechanism. In terms of this whitelist, we have seen that the projects amount to about 6,000. Among them, about 82% belong to private companies or companies with mixed ownership. As of February, commercial banks have approved over 200 billion yuan of loans. But I have to stress here that companies with serious insolvency or can no longer operate need to file for bankruptcy or restructuring if their situation demands it according to law and market rules. Actions that undermine people's interests will be punished according to law, and those who seek unlawful gains will be held accountable. Third, facilitating the transition and making sure our people can live well. Last November, General Secretary Xi Jinping visited a residential compound in Shanghai called Home of City Builders and Managers in the New Era. He emphasized that cities not only need to grow, but also need to care for the people. We need to make sure that new urban residents can come, stay, have a good life, and establish themselves in the city. General Secretary's profound love and care for the people is indeed touching and inspiring. We will bear in mind his words, focus on building government-subsidized homes, both for renting and for sale, provide diverse choices of home types, such as a dormitory-style room, a single room, or a suite, and strive to give new urban residents, young people, and migrant workers places to live in. In this way, they will be well established in the city to fight for their better life. Thank you.
到此结束，谢谢各位嘉宾，谢谢大家。
Friends from the media, in the interest of time, the press conference here concludes. Thank you, ministers and participants.